Welcome back, Mzansi. If you're new here, welcome to the channel that breaks down the facts, clears up the confusion, and delivers the truth behind every headline affecting your wallet, your household, and your everyday life. Today's story is all about one of the most talked about subjects right now, SASSA grants in May 2025. From when you'll be paid, to talk of possible increases, and yes, even the big rumor, is South Africa about to see a double grant payout this month? If you or your loved ones depend on SASSA to make ends meet, then you already know how critical it is to stay informed. One unexpected delay, one missing payment, one small change, can make or break the household budget. That's why in this full update, we're diving deep into the May 2025 SASSA grant payment schedule, the real talk about potential increases, and what's really going on with this trending idea of a double pay. So, sit back, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into the full story. The official May 2025 SASSA payment schedule. Let's start with the number one thing everyone's been asking about: when are the May SASSA grants being paid out? The official payment calendar has now been confirmed, and it follows the standard structure South Africans have come to expect. Older persons are paid first, followed by those receiving disability benefits, and then all other grants. In May 2025, the payments are scheduled as follows. Older persons, meaning pensioners who receive the Older Persons Grant, can expect to receive their money on Friday, the 3rd of May. That's earlier than usual due to the long weekend preceding that week. The following Monday, the 5th of May, is the day for disability grant payments. And finally, all remaining grants, such as child support grants, foster care, and care dependency grants, will roll out on Tuesday, the 6th of May. These dates are critical for planning. And remember, even if you don't draw your grant on the exact day it lands, it doesn't go anywhere. It will stay in your SASSA card or your linked bank account until you decide to use it. So there's no need to panic or rush out to ATMs or post offices the moment payments begin. How the payment system works and why the dates matter. Every month, these staggered dates help reduce congestion and crowding at pay points. But they also serve a second purpose: security and efficiency. SASSA works closely with the South African Post Bank and private banking partners to make sure that each group of beneficiaries gets their funds without system overloads or technical failures. But it's not just about the dates, it's about what those payments represent for millions of South Africans. Whether it's a grandmother supporting a whole household on an older person's grant, or a mother counting on the child grant to feed her family, these grants are not just support, they are survival. That's why even a slight delay causes massive anxiety. In recent months, SASSA has worked hard to avoid the kind of system failures that rocked the country in previous years. Many will remember the 2023 and 2024 delays that left thousands waiting for hours or even days. So far in 2025, the agency seems to have learned from those mistakes. Before we jump into the next big topic, possible increases, let's take a quick moment to recap what types of SASSA grants are currently available in South Africa, because many new beneficiaries join the system each month, and it's important to understand the full picture. First, there's the Older Persons Grant, which is for South Africans aged 60 and above who meet the income and asset criteria. This is one of the most widely relied upon grants in the country. Then there's the Disability Grant, available to people who are medically assessed and found to be permanently or temporarily disabled. This grant also has its own income and asset limits. Next up, we have the Child Support Grant, which helps caregivers and parents afford the basic necessities for children under the age of 18. The Foster Child Grant and Care Dependency Grant follow similar logic, designed for specific situations where a child requires care beyond the basic needs. And lastly, we cannot forget the Social Relief of Distress (SRD) grant, often referred to as the R350 grant. Though it began as a temporary COVID-19 response, this grant has been extended multiple times and remains part of the safety net for unemployed individuals without any other income. Now let's talk about what's really got people hopeful, and maybe a little confused. Are SASSA grant amounts going up in May 2025? The short answer is, not officially yet, but there is strong indication that mid-year increases are on the table. Why is that? Every year, the government uses the national budget, usually announced in February, to propose and approve any increases in social grants. In 2025, the budget did include adjustments to grant values. However, these are often introduced in phases, meaning one part early in the year, and another around the middle of the year, usually May or June. So, while the April payments were at the current approved levels, May could very well be the first month where the second phase of increases kicks in. If so, beneficiaries could see a small bump in their payments, anywhere from R10 to R30 depending on the grant category. And yes, we know that's not nearly enough to keep up with the rising cost of food, electricity, and transport. But every bit counts, especially when inflation continues to stretch the already thin budgets of grant recipients. If you've been on social media lately, you've probably seen the posts. Screenshots claiming that grant recipients will receive a double pay, or that back pay is being processed for missed grants in previous months. But what's the truth? Let's separate fact from fiction. As of now, there has been no official confirmation from SASSA or the Department of Social Development about any mass double payments scheduled for May. That said, there are a few specific scenarios where a person might receive two payments in 1 month. If your grant was approved late in a previous month but not paid, SASSA may issue a backdated payment alongside your current one. If there was a technical delay or reversal, sometimes caused by incorrect banking details, SASSA might process two lump sums together once resolved. In rare cases of reassessment and requalification, where someone was unfairly suspended but later reinstated, a backlog may be paid out. So yes, some individuals might receive what feels like a double payment, but it's not a universal grant increase. It's either arrears or an error correction. SASSA has warned people not to fall for false information or scam links promising double payouts. If you receive a WhatsApp message asking you to claim your double grant, do not click. These are phishing scams designed to steal your personal data. The truth is, South Africa is walking a tightrope. On one hand, government is under increasing pressure to boost grant values to keep up with the real cost of living. On the other hand, there are real fiscal constraints. Our national debt is growing, tax collections are strained, and every increase in social grants must be carefully balanced with other national priorities like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. But here's the encouraging part: civil society groups, unions, and even economists are beginning to speak more openly about the importance of strengthening the social safety net, especially for the country's most vulnerable. The SASSA grant, once considered temporary, is now being seriously considered for permanent inclusion and even expansion. That means, while May 2025 may not bring a full double pay for everyone, it could very well be a stepping stone to bigger reforms. What you should do this month. If you're a grant recipient, here are a few important things you should do in May. First, make sure your banking details with SASSA are up to date. If you've changed your bank or phone number recently, update it immediately through the official SASSA website or in-person office. This prevents missed or delayed payments. Second, check your SASSA status regularly. Whether you use the website or the WhatsApp line, it's important to stay informed about your grant status, especially if you're a new applicant or awaiting appeal decisions. Third, report any missing payments or strange deductions. SASSA has acknowledged that fraudulent deductions, particularly airtime and insurance debits, are still affecting some accounts. If something seems off, raise the alarm. As we move deeper into 2025, one thing is clear: social grants remain a lifeline for millions. And the system, while far from perfect, is evolving. May is a month to watch closely. It may not bring miracles, but it does bring momentum. The possibility of phased increases, the clarification of delayed or duplicate payments, and growing pressure to boost SRD and other grants, all point to a system that's slowly, maybe even painfully, adapting to the needs of the people. Stay tuned, because in the months to come, we may see much bigger announcements, especially with local elections around the corner and political parties eager to appeal to low-income voters. So there you have it, South Africa, your full update on the May 2025 SASSA grants. From the confirmed payment schedule to the real story behind grant increases and the truth about double pay, we've unpacked it all. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with friends or family members who need to stay in the know. And most importantly, stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, Mzansi. Until next time.